Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to explore Dungeons and Dragons. What is it? What is its value? Why Dungeons and Dragons? Why is it fixing our society right now? Why is it the most important narrative platform that has ever existed? Why is the most important secular narrative platform that has ever existed? Let's get into it. All right, so the reason is plays. I don't think I've dedicated my channel to answering the question, what is Dungeons and Dragons? And I'm convinced that literally no one understands what Dungeons and Dragons is. It is this incredibly rare, unique, special thing that that is not understood today. We don't like the vast. I believe I have 90% of the answer, right? But I believe that most people don't even have 9% of the answer. And we also know that the vast majority, we know this because of Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Most people quite literally don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is. They don't know if it's a board game. They don't know if it's a video game. They don't know if it's a movie, right? But even within the community, we don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is. But I recently saw a play and I was stunned. I saw this. It's a play done in my local area, and it was fantastic. It was the last showing of the play, and it was phenomenal. I was blown away by this little local play, right? And when it was done, one, I was astonished. I was like, "Holy cows, that was really good!" All the people in my community just did this astonishingly good play, right? Like they really did a great job. I was blown away by. Actually, believe it or not, the acting wasn't perfect, right? And the sets weren't perfect. But it was so raw and so real and so now, right? And so much more profound than anything I would see on the big screen or the small screen, right? It was extremely personal and it was powerful and it was valuable, right? And the people were doing the best job they could, and they were doing, and it was amazing. It was an amazing thing to watch, right? And these people had come together as a community. These people from my community, from my local community, had come together and put on this astonishing musical, right? It was upbeat, it was joyous, it was just so good. I was really rocked to my core by the quality of it, right? And I was feeling it, man. I was just like I was here for it, right? And I realized, I was like, this is one of the most valuable things that humans are doing today. They are coming together and they're creating art and plays all over the world. And we have a sense now, like because of screens, we have these amazing mobile phones. They're awesome. They solve a lot of problems, but they present some problems, right? And one of them is impersonalization and lack of focus, and but a play is the exact opposite, right? And what I'm explaining to you is like what we really need to start thinking about Dungeons and Dragons as is an extenuated play, right? And better than a play. Plays are pretty awesome, right? And when I tell you plays are awesome, I can say that with a lot of well, let me give you some evidence, right? Hugh Jackman, literally one of the best actors in the world, right? And not some poofter like, oh, I was in some useless film that got nominated for 12 Oscars, right? But like Deadpool and Wolverine, he was just he actually does. He's a really talented author. He's a really talented actor who's willing to have his work accessible to the common man, right? The common woman, right? And his movie made $1.3 billion, right? It was one of only two movies in 2024 to make $1 billion. It was Wolverine and it was Inside Out 2. Both of those are Disney films. That's interesting, right? But you know what? You know what Hugh Jackman's passion is? Being on Broadway. He loves plays. That's where he really shines. That's what he lives for. And he does $1.3 billion baggers so he can get back to the stage as much as he wants, right? And he really shines, and he's really in love with what he's doing and in love with his job when he is on the boards, literally on Broadway, right? Like, and he loves being in plays, right? So plays are amazing, right? And I think what we need to understand is what is so Dungeons and Dragons is the most personal, most valuable play ever written. Every single campaign, right? So first of all, what we have to understand Dungeons and Dragons as a hyper play, right? It's a play. Um, it's personal, it's immediate, people are there physically, it's crafted with the people in the community, okay? Just like the play I saw. But more than that, the audience is spectacularly strange, right? First of all, imagine a play so I'm going to say this and then I'm going to change it, okay? But on one level, the play is being done for the people in it, right? So when it happens, the audience of the play are literally the people in the play, right? Also, the play is being written as the play is being done. That's astounding, right? There's these probability rocks, right? Are coming in and they are interrupting both the director and the actors. Like life. If you haven't seen the movie The Monkey, go watch the movie The Monkey. The monkey is very powerful, and on the box that the monkey is in the film, it says "like life," right? So it's a play where the audience is initially literally the people who are in the play, right? Like, and then it's written it's written as the play is put on, right? With some preparation that happens beforehand from the dungeon master. That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild, right? And really, there's no analog to that. But then a lot of people think, oh, what happens at my table stays at my table. That is 100% wrong. Every Dungeons and Dragon narrative escapes to the world. And it goes beyond the people at the table. It goes beyond the people at the table in a lot of extremely unusual ways. One, some people will tell the story. I do that, right? I tell the story of every... I tell the story of the Dungeons and Dragons campaigns that I run, right? You can find them all over my channel. Like, here's the entire story. Here's everything that happened in probably more detail than I should even, probably more detail than I should be taking the time to give. Actually, there's some of my lowest perform. People are like, why do you even do these? Nobody watches these. And you're right. No one watches my D&D recaps. I do them so that they are captured and those stories are told to the world, right? The world needs to know them. Well, guess what? The best things in the world that the world needs to read or the world needs to experience, they ignore, right? Like, I'm not worried. I know why people don't watch my D&D recaps, because it would change their lives, right? That's why. They're terrified of them. And well, they should be, right? And then the lessons that the people at the table carry are put out into the world in a lot of different ways. Also, identity stacking is put out into the world. People go to a Dungeons & Dragons table and then they come to work with you, right? And you don't know it, but you are experiencing Beryl the Turtle Wizard, not just Sally the accountant, right? It's profound. And we really need to start thinking about Dungeons & Dragons like this. Dungeons & Dragons is a hyper play. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.